What's up, everybody? It is time for another entry into Miko's music connection. As you can see, I'm going to be talking about ATEEZ. This is going to be another group that I don't really have a strong personal connection to them or anything. I just kind of treated it like the other K-pop groups, Stray Kids, ITZY, Bandit, Stacy, and some groups that will be mentioned in the future, where I just did a deep dive of their discography and their videography, all their music videos and stuff. I did glance a little bit through some of the lives and stuff, and so I'll just be talking about ATEEZ. I do want to give a small little disclaimer to the ATINYs out there watching. Please do not come for me. I just want to apologize ahead of time, so that's all I gotta say. Please don't get mad at me. Before I start talking about good old ATEEZ, here's a little bit of information about them. So, as mentioned in the reboot of Miko's Music Connection, where I talked about Stray Kids, I did mention ATEEZ, and I did say that I was going to be talking about them at some point. And unlike the last episode with Duran Gray, I was pretty excited to talk about this group, and also a tiny bit nervous. In all my years of being on YouTube, there have been moments where I talk about specific topics or groups or whatever that I know has a very passionate fan base, and they are known to be quick to jump the gun and jump on people or whatever. I understand that fandoms are protective, and I'm not just talking about K-pop groups, I'm just talking in a general sense that fans can be very protective of whatever their fandom is. And most of the time when I have my defenses up, like ready to like fight back, typing on my keyboard, it never happens. So I'm hoping with this video the same thing happens, where nothing really happens. Because, I mean, I know I already apologized, but I'm going to just say, in short, just a very, very short version of how I feel about them. I do like ATEEZ. But I'm going to be explaining what the but is. So back in 2019, they did a tour here in North America for the very first time, and I've been seeing their name here and there, everywhere, and I decided with Angeline, you know what, I'm gonna give in. I'm gonna taste the forbidden fruit. I'm gonna dip my toes into the pond and see if this is something I'm interested in. Because I hadn't actually listened to any of their music until I kept seeing advertisements on Facebook about them touring here. The first video that I came across and decided to look at, and I was purely judging it off of the thumbnail as maybe this might be something I would be into, because the visuals kind of click into some like a dark concept, and I like my dark concepts when they're done right. And it was Wonderland. Wonderland was interesting. I will admit, the first time I saw the video, I was kind of like, I don't get it, this is not for me. I think the second video that I wanted to give them like another chance, at least that day at her house, was, I think it was Pirate King. A little bit better, but still didn't really intrigue me. I just did not see anything special about them. And what I mean by that is, like, they really kind of, there was nothing that made them stand out, is what I'm saying. Every group has their specialties, but then they're, you know, for people who have been into the K-pop fandom for, it doesn't even have to be years or anything, but has been in the fandom at least, I don't know, a month, even a couple weeks, you know that there are like hundreds upon hundreds of K-pop groups, and there's only so many sounds and concepts and looks and stuff that you can do, that some of them tend to like overlap and kind of have a similar sound to them. And I can admit, through my journey of going through the discography, there are some similarity crossover in their sound with Stray Kids. So I could totally understand why when I went to Violet K-pop, they said that Stray Kids and ATEEZ were the best-selling merchandise in their store when they were first opening. So I'm like, I totally get it. So fast forward many years to, I don't know, I guess last year / this year, 2021, 2022, where I decided, you know what, let me give them another chance. And I forgot how I came across this song. I don't even know if there's a video for it or anything. I don't think there is, but it's a song called Precious. I love the song. The song is very good. Has a lot of good layers and dimensions to it, and shows off their vocals and their rap line, and I don't know, it's just a good song. Precious. Yeah, yeah, how can stop? Yeah, makes you put it up. Yeah, really good yeah, how can stop? But I believe the song that really made me want to latch on the hardest was Inception. Oh my gosh, that song is such a vocal delight. Whoever arranged the vocals and just how the music like flows, just the whole arrangement, I just love it so much. 난 마치 꿈에서 꿈을 꾼 듯이 널 찾아서 헤매다 길을 잃어가 다신 깨지 못해 너란 꿈에 살아 everyday. And it's a song that I play the most on my Spotify, and it also kind of gives me a slight bittersweet feeling, or at least taste, or whatever. It just gives me kind of a bittersweet feeling because of one little thing, that butt that I'm holding on to. Of course, in my journey of going through the discography and all their music videos, I did go back, rewatch Wonderland, Pirate King, and of course some songs I've heard in many K-pop quizzes that I've searched through on my own, and also with Blipmaster 5, like Thanks, which I've heard thousands of times as well. Now, listening to all those songs made me grow to like them even more. They do have their own flavor and sound and concept compared to Stray Kids. Sure, they have these, like, I guess, noisy elements and auto-tune and all that flair and stuff, but they have a different spin and take compared to Stray Kids. So I'm not taking away from Stray Kids, and I'm not taking away from ATEEZ, but I finally could decipher, like, this is what they're doing with these tools, and this is how they're using those same tools, but making it their own. In the same vein, as I mentioned earlier, I can understand why people like both, or why those two groups were popular back then when I asked that staff member. I don't know if they're still the groups that sell the most CDs at their store since they moved and expanded, but I'm glad I gave ATEEZ another chance. One thing I definitely have to mention, because this ties into my I like ATEEZ, but I haven't really watched full live performances yet. I've seen snippets of their concerts, some fan cam stuff when I was just waiting for my car to be done, like on my phone. I've seen some footage of their performances here in America this year, and it made me kind of regret just a little bit that I didn't decide to go, because it looked like a lot of fun. Their chemistry when they're not singing just seems very entertaining. It just seemed like they have like a very positive, fun, upbeat like energy about them, and their fans seem very passionate and, I don't know, welcoming or whatever. One particular person stood out to me, and I know I'm going to be mentioning this person in my stats a little bit later, but it's San. No, not that one. That's the one from Nega, the other one. Yeah, that one. I don't know what it is about him, but bless him. On the other side of the spectrum, the thing that is holding me back from being a full-on gung-ho, I'm gonna like hardcore support this group, is a member by the name of Mingi. Me and Mingi don't get along. Like, I don't know him personally, and I have yet to research some things that I have heard about him from a friend. But he is the one that is holding me back from being a casual ATEEZ. Every time I've listened to a song, the first run through their discography, I would be jamming and grooving to something, and then all of a sudden I hear his voice. 조금 더 크게 생각해 그게 잠든 난 눈 뜨게 해워 눈앞에 태양 보라색 별 꽃이 춤춰 노래는 더 건배 건배 이 순간 뜨거운 태양 아래서 하쿠나 마타타요 하쿠나 마타타 바다를 향해 트립 다 던져버려 트윙 이 순간을 즐겨 안는 yeah feeling me 파도 안에 swing 더 정신없이 queen 넌 찾아 준비됐어 저 태양 아래 불 This voice, I can't. I don't like his voice. That's the only thing that's holding me back from jumping into this fandom. I thought it was the auto-tune, because I know they've been putting a lot of auto-tune on a lot of the members' like vocals, and they don't need it. They really don't. They need to lay off the auto-tune. Like, I'm not a, what is it, early to mid 2000s death to auto-tune person. I am not that. But I feel like if you are showcasing just beautiful, polished or near polished vocals, if they have the vocal chops, don't put the autotune on it. I know it's the style, I know it's the trend, but it just kind of ruins or lowers the quality of the song, because there are some songs that I have heard where I'm like, oh, I wish they didn't put so much auto-tune on these other members' voices, because their singing voices are gorgeous. And I've heard that in quite a few songs of theirs. One I've already mentioned, which is Inception. Another one is, I think it's Take Me Home or Take Me Back. I'll put a correction of the name of the song. But there are so many songs that I've heard, their vocals are gorgeous. They're great. They work really well together. But to throw some autotune on top of it, like, please, what are you doing? Let them sing. Let their voices be pure and just, you know, tweak it a little bit. But don't add all of that, like, texture, like all the extra stuff on it that doesn't need to be there. And I'm not just talking about ATEEZ, I just mean that in a general sense, because there are some other groups where I'm just like, if it wasn't for this stupid autotune, this song could have been a masterpiece. I'm talking to you, whoever did Black Swan, because we didn't need that on BTS's vocals. It totally ruined the song. I mean, it's a great song, but it didn't need autotune. Anyway, so back to Migi. I thought it maybe was they used autotune too much on his voice during his rap portions. But once they took it away, or at least they lessened it, it still wasn't that great. From what I've heard, and I can't confirm myself, because like I said, I have yet to research this as fact, he deepens his voice intentionally, and it just doesn't work. I can confidently say I'm, I guess, a veteran K-pop fan. I've been in this fandom since 2007, 2008. And I know there was this trend going on that everyone wanted to rap like Top. Like, there was always a deep voice rapper. And then it lessened some and that trend kind of died off, but now it's back again. I don't know if it's because of Felix or someone else, but we don't always need a deep voice rapper. I mean, they're great when you can do it well, but when your voice doesn't naturally sound like that, it just kind of throws everything off. I don't know what the other rapper's name is, but I don't have a problem when he raps. His voice is fine. But something about Migi's voice, it just does not work for me, and it just really hinders me from really diving into their music. So, sorry Migi, it's just not working for me. I know it works for you ATINYs out there, casual fans of ATEEZ, but it doesn't work for me. To get back on track on some positive stuff about ATEEZ, because, as I said at the beginning, I like ATEEZ. I really do. I have endured and cringed a little every time I've listened to Migi's voice, just to enjoy little songs like Thanks, where he's very prominent in that song. I've even looked forward to checking out their new video, The Real. Fantastic song. I love the music video. It's a lot of high energy, and it kind of showcases the guys' personalities, which I don't really know much of because I haven't watched really any interviews or outside clips or anything like that. Their latest release, as I'm filming this, was Don't Stop, which I really enjoyed. It's a song that I have returned to quite a few times. Don't stop, 괜찮아 우리 서로를 round and round 돌고 돌아. Hey, don't stop, 밤이 새도록 너와 나 막을 수가 없도록. I have no complaints. I don't know. They're on a good trajectory. I'm looking forward to seeing their performances in the Queendom spin-off Kingdom. Small little promo, we're watching Queendom Season 1 on Discord, so if you want to join Patreon, you can check that out, and you can watch with us. Anyways, I am looking forward to looking and experiencing more of ATEEZ's growth. Maybe Migi's voice thing, maybe that'll change. I don't know, but he's just not for me. I'm not his audience, and that's fine. The question is, am I a fan of ATEEZ? Well, I'm sure it's kind of obvious. I am, but I'm not hardcore about it. There's a couple friends I know who've known me since back in the day when I told myself I was not getting into K-pop. I'm only gonna like this one guy. Okay, this one guy in this group. Alright, two guys in this group. Okay, two guys, these two groups, and maybe this gal over here. And it snowballed. I had a very complicated relationship with a little group. I don't know if you've heard of them before, called DBSK, TVXQ, Tohoshiki. I don't know. They're pretty obscure. You might not have heard of them. I fought tooth and nail not to enjoy their music, but I did. And back then, I kind of called myself kind of like a closeted fan. Like, I enjoyed their music, and I hated that I enjoyed their music, because there were a member or two or some influence that kind of tainted a bit of my enjoyment. It was the closest thing I've ever had to a guilty pleasure. Now, I'm not as closeted about liking DBSK. I don't mind being like, I do like them. They didn't deserve how they were treated in SM. I have a bias. I've had a bias since the beginning when I was a closeted fan. I would never call myself a Cassiopeia, which is their fandom name. But they had great vocals, great like visuals and chemistry. Their Japanese releases were always solid, and I can't say that for a lot of groups out there. So for ATEEZ, I guess I could be in the closet side. I could be a closeted ATINY. Only because I feel like it's wrong for me to even say like I'm a casual fan of theirs, because of this whole mess between myself and Mingi, where we just aren't getting along, and I don't know, I can't. I fight every time I go into Violet K-pop not to get an ATEEZ CD, because their songs are great. They're bangers. They have some great variation, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love like putting it on in my car and on Spotify and stuff. And I don't know if I'm gonna link this, but even on my last FM, you can see how much I listen to them. So I listen to them. I kind of mix them in a little bit with Stray Kids. So, but Mingi's holding me back from being a full-on ATINY, but for right now, I'm just gonna casually stay in the back and let all the ATINYs enjoy themselves, because I get it. So tell me where I go to other side. Somebody take me home. So I hope that you enjoyed this entry of Miko's Music Connection. I hope I didn't make any ATINYs mad. I hope y'all understand. I do like their music. I think they're great. I look forward to checking out more of their stuff. I'll continue listening to them, of course, and maybe I can get over that hump with Mingi and myself, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.